Hi, this is Janelle, the relationship coach behind the Successful Invisible. And I'm coming to you with a dating tip today about something that's very important, especially when it comes to having effective conflict resolution in any type of relationship. This is not mutually exclusive to romantic relationships, but especially in very close relationships, so friendship, family, romantic, this is important. And that dating tip is to be specific. So, in terms of really learning how to effectively communicate with your partner and having effective and healthy conflict resolution, because we're all grown here, we need to know how to resolve any issues, grievances, perceived slights, perceived or real, etc. You need to have effective communication and effective conflict resolution skills. And one thing that is very important is learning how to be specific. So I'll give you a scenario. This happened when I had a recent coaching session, and a client was speaking to me about some things that were maybe a little frustrating with her romantic partner. And one of the things that is very important is you can't use, don't want to say can't. It is not the most productive thing to use the words can't and all, okay, when you are communicating, especially to resolve some type of conflict. So being specific is important. And this client was discussing what she was frustrated about. And we got, during the course of our coaching session, we got to the specifics of those grievances, etc., with her romantic partner. So I feel that is extremely important. Learn to be specific. For example, if you are, this is a common one that I see with clients that I work with, especially if you're, a woman dating a man who leaves the toilet seat up when he goes to the bathroom, okay? It is important to say you brought that grievance to your partner and said, hey, babe, we need to talk about this. It would be a lot more effective to say, I have talked to you about this, and this is something that's frustrating for me, and I'd really like to understand, what's going on. And the response might be, when did I do that? When did I have that happen? Saying you always do that may not be effective, but saying, okay, for example, on Saturday when we were home and cleaning the house, I noticed that you went to the bathroom in the morning and you left the toilet seat up. And this is something we've just talked about before. And when you came home Friday, this happened. Now, being specific, it's very, very important for you to have enough self-awareness to also be mindful. The goal of this is not to become nitpicky or like a prosecutor in the court, but being specific is important because you can actually cite instances that then you can discuss that particular instance. It feels less like an attack on the person, though they may get a bit defensive. But when you are able to focus your energy on a specific situation, scenario, time, date, it helps to go down the path of a more fruitful discussion and cooler heads, because you're speaking of a specific situation. You're not saying a grandiose or overarching all or never, which can be taken very personally because you're saying all of this person does this thing. Even if at times for something like leaving the toilet seat up could be accurate, it's not productive. So being able to be specific about things, especially in conflict resolution, is extremely important in order for you to resolve it. And it could be, hey, they forget to do it when they go to the bathroom in the morning. Then you can speak about, okay, what would work as a reminder in this particular scenario. Something else that I've heard of commonly is people who have a certain habit, such as, and I had a male coaching client who had a complaint about this. His girlfriend was a person who left the refrigerator door open. Like, she would go in, get one thing, come out, but then she would kind of roam around the kitchen before she would close it immediately. And he was raised and he thought it was normal to close it immediately. I think most people have that thought. And I said, okay, saying all is going to feel very much accusatory instead of saying, hey, on Monday afternoon when we were having dinner, or Monday evening when we were having dinner, I noticed this thing. and then you can talk about that particular situation. So, huge dating tip. This is important in any type of relationship where you really want to come up with a resolution. You don't want to just blame. You don't want to just have disagreement. You really want to get to a resolution. So it can be in the earlier stages of dating. It could be in a full-on relationship. Excuse me. It can be in a marriage. It can be in a friendship. It can be in a familial relationship. It doesn't matter. It can be in a work relationship. It's important to be specific, but as I said, be mindful to toe the line that you are not being nitpicky or accusatory. And that just takes a certain level of self-awareness and maturity. So you want to effectively resolve issues, remember to be specific.